Only the first few minutes combine already some streaks that I did on Facebook, and it suggests certain people for having been chosen to take certain roles. You will put emphasis on considering Nicole Steuer for her likelihood for her similarity looks wise to Miss Castillo. And after she is being introduced, I stop the video. Which streaks I mean number wise, I will have to look it up and type a text. This goes to the 86th streak, I think, on Facebook, which introduces a first set of people that worked against my interests, and also, as it shows, as it can be shown, against the interests of the very state of Germany. Peer, Jamila Peer would be a second name. I don't know her personally, but a person that was maybe taken as a not a predecessor, as a prototype or what. I met in a unfavorite scene at one of the billiard saloons in Erfurt. I was thrown out everywhere on grounds of not approving to being addressed with the second person singular. I did it for several reasons. This is the state of being in Germany. And the series I watched and I was watched likely or listened to in 2016. It was 2016, also the year it was shown on Vox, if I'm not too mistaken. 2016, a second circle was opened up, which would again put me into a completely row of events that inappropriate. For example, the pledge to pay back or to pay a 50,000 euro for having been threatened and put to danger during 4 years in the Erfurtian homelessness care home address, two addresses, two houses beside each other. And here you understand the videos which are not finished yet, which combine but 3 other places in Erfurt surrounding Erfurt 1. That address and another address, I will have to look it up. Thereby, I think it can be shown it leads back to the Second World War days, and I meet here the same set of people that already then witnessed a murder and or did it and would then start to exchange places and positions as witnesses or culprits likely. That murder was never treated as such. It was just taken for legally impossible, though common sense, doable self-murder. The keyword here would be Bahnhofschenkel, accompanied by the Arabic verb shamaka, which means to hang, and this is exactly what happened to one of my relatives, and this is one of the incentives that push me forward. Keyword also petal leaves. They would invent a kind of a plant which the growth of which they would be able they would be able to direct and to it is astonishing. It is always done in circles. It is always done in coincidental doublings. it is always involving similar sets of persons or characters, as if we were all already in India, living a kind of someone's karma. Um, what else? In order to keep it more onto the legal handleable side, the invention of two columns and one in the midst, comprised of those people. Question there: who were they, and do those as of now have anything to do with those then? So maybe indeed yes. The columns, I mean the complicated, indeed totally complicated field of German law, but German law, written and worked with since decades, centuries. And on the other side, I think that it was the yeah, for example, the coincidental doublings loaded with meaning that no one understood would understand if one would not be an insider. Meaning, if you are not an insider, you are of course a culprit, likely a victim thereby, and a person that does not understand too much of things, like I did, like I still do. Because, for example, I don't know what I order when sitting in a restaurant and eating a pommes with red and white, or a more complicated dish. Because this would be one way of communicating things. Or ticking in order to communicate. Well, that one is now sitting beside an elderly man. She is disturbing other business, not allowing for other readings of situations any longer. So let's put the video on.
To get away with murder. Unlike many of my colleagues, I will not be teaching you how to study the law or theorize about it, but rather how to practice it in a courtroom, like a real lawyer. Now to our first case study.
Forget about the courtroom, forget about lawyers. Those people that took over my work likely are not at all, and if so, they have put themselves into danger of losing their how does one say, medicines have an approbation. Legal experts have a similar sheet of paper, so indeed they put themselves in danger of losing that. No one contacted me. You should already have done so. Mind the Green Shield, it's Middleton University. Think of England. I can tell you, I think of Juliane Riem. She alluded thereto after she would have invited me into her garden. That also loaded with meaning already by the house number, if one wills, a 306. This connects to the Thuringian police, which did not treat me too well. Every time I showed up, and which was not too often since 2007, and talked about computer criminality and flat intrusions, I was pushed aside and advised even to go to the mental hospital. Also, the Jamila Peer, she's Annelies Keating here, this law professor. In that video, she is introducing a case, and that is called, the Americans do it obviously likewise, it is called with a striking noun or what, just to be able to refer to something. So this one is L'assassin à l'aspirine, yeah, the aspirin murder. So here you have the aspirin idea and peer. This is Urdu, this is Arabic maybe. Is it Arabic? I've forgotten. Also, Iranians would understand it and wonder maybe why. Why is a Jackson Irvine from Australia, who all of a sudden is an Hamburgian, why has he been married off to a person bearing the name Pir? This is totally astonishing, isn't it? So, let's proceed here.
Assassin. Tell us the facts. Connor Walsh.
The Commonwealth v. Gina Sadowski was a case of attempted murder. The defendant, Ms. Sadowski, worked as the second assistant to the victim, Arthur Kaufman, the CEO of an She was also his mistress.
What happened after Mr. Kaufman's wife of 27 years, Agnes...
Okay, I could have paused here. Unfortunately, I have already exceeded the line of 8 minutes, so this also goes on YouTube. But I will do a link. I wonder if anyone in this country is able to follow up to those, but it is necessary. By the way, who was it from which political direction and peered, if one wills, forefronted who did announce here policemen now appear on streets and convey security and everything was in order. I hardly do remember the time frame even. Was it before 2000 or afterwards? I would think it was afterwards in context of Islamism, most probably. I would suggest employ more and let them sit in offices and understand those links, which I wrote though. The arson is but an example, and it is an example which exists because the arson exists. It is connected to crime abroad, and therefore, though it is me, but you have obviously decided to sideline and to totally forget about me and let me here go to waste, I almost said. Get moldy or what, as if never having existed in Germany, though it was all facts what I wrote about. And if then later here in this video is the talks about learning opportunities, it was for certain not a very good idea to stop but the first email to the Staatsanwaltschaft Erfurt. Only 3 pages. Of course, it was stark what was combined, but how and who did propose and could set him or herself through, telling in stating that one will never be able to write that and to ground that what is just written on 3 pages, if those 3 pages were formulated already quite well. And were on point, because of course the arson was an arson. If it was the case that a Silvester rocket in summer on that day landed on a stone roof, stone-like roof, in the Erfurt 1 address, which happened to harbor me. Can I show off a contract? No. I've lost my first household.
The mens rea. Wesley Gibbons.
The mens rea? Right.
Day 1 and you're unprepared?
No. Well, yes, but I didn't know there was anything to prepare.
I emailed the assignment to the entire class 2 days ago.
Oh, I didn't get that.
Mr. Gibbons, as a defense attorney, I spend most of my time around professional liars. So you have to work really hard to fool me.
I only got accepted here 2 days ago. From the wait list. So that's probably why you didn't get my email address.
Let me help you out. Actor Actus Reus means guilty act, the poisoning of Mr. Kaufman with an aspirin, whereas mens rea means guilty mind. So what was Miss Sadowski's mens rea? Think, Mr. Gibbons. It's nothing more than common sense.
To kill.
Will the individual just spoke please stand and repeat the answer?
The mens rea, also referred to as intent, was to kill Mr. Kaufman.
That's right. Your name?
Laurel Castillo.
Never.
That is the one I mentioned. So maybe some who then knew Nicole Steuer as Nicole Steuer would support the opinion that a slight similarity is indeed visible. Nicole Steuer, one person to be taken for certain exchangement procedures as regards my very existence.
Take a learning opportunity away from another student. No matter how smart you need everyone to think you are. All right, before we move on, are there any...
Yeah, call it learning opportunities. I call it a crime complex, only here in Erfurt, only comprised. Yeah, it is difficult. One has to distinguish, and one cannot take 30 years into one single case. This is indeed possible, true, and I try to make it possible to produce single handleable complexes. For a crowd of lawyers of which I don't know anyone, and okay, this is another matter. So, the video ends here.